Welcome back to Matter of Fact. I'm Jessica Gomez, in for Soledad O'Brien. He was a self-proclaimed white supremacist.
Black people are criminals and inferior.
A member of the Aryan Resistance Movement, Tony McAleer was a skinhead recruiter. He attended cross burnings and participated in violent attacks against minority groups. But today, he's helping people extricate themselves from the same extremist life he once lived. Tony McAleer is the executive director of Life After Hate. Thanks so much for joining us and talking about this time in your life.
Thank you for having me.
So your father was a psychiatrist. You came from an upper middle class background, but you said you started with the skinhead movement, and it was really through music, but it wasn't so political at first.
Not at the beginning, no. But as it started to get political, I seized upon that. Every chance I got was to go a little bit more extreme. Once I got into it, I wasn't following it, I was driving it.
Right, you started organizing, you started recruiting for some of these very extreme groups.
When I got involved with the skinheads, my bullying survival strategy was befriend the bully, become the bully. And I sought the solace of the eye of the hurricane. That's where the safety was for me. And in order to have that safety and protection for them, I had to have their respect. And in order to have their respect, I had to commit all the same violence that they did. And for someone where violence was new, I'm going to be honest, I liked it. And every step I went deeper, I got a greater sense of power and thrill and intoxication.
What do you regret most?
If I think back to an event that I carry the deepest shame about, and it was around the bashing of a gay man. And I think we were 17, we were drinking beer in the park, and it was a park where gay men used to go. And we chased this gay man into a construction site. And he ran into the construction site and under like a crawl space about that high into the darkness. And we picked up stones, and like skipping stones at the lake, we threw them into the darkness, and you would hear them go clack, 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 clack. And every second or third one, you'd hear a yell of pain from that man hiding in the darkness. And I think back, what would it have liked to have been that man who didn't do anything wrong? He didn't deserve any of it.
So there was a turning point for you. What was it?
The birth of my daughter. I found myself in the delivery room holding this baby girl, and she's, got this little scrunchy face, and she opens her eyes for the first time. And I connected with another human being for the first time since I could remember. Because in order to hold that ideology, in order to be in that movement and to commit the violence, I was completely disconnected from my heart. And that spark started a process. It was not an event. It didn't happen overnight, where my heart thawed and began to open up, and I began to rediscover my own humanity.
You say extremist groups of all kinds, not just white supremacists. For them, often ideology is not even the driving force. It's more about acceptance.
Yeah, so regardless of the ideology, research shows that the number one correlated factor in the history of someone joining a violent extremist group is childhood trauma.
When you talk to victims groups, people who have been victims of some of the same kind of violence you were part of, what do you say to them?
I think I share with them my sense of deep shame about the things that I did. And if I didn't do it to them personally, I did it to their community. But it's essential for the healing to happen is to talk with the communities that I once harmed.
All right, Tony McAleer from Life After Hate. Thank you so much for talking about this painful time in your life. We appreciate it.
Thank you.